Good evening, YouTube. Welcome to part 3 of the UFO's maiden voyage, the RMS TITANIC, which was this ship. Right, this is part number 3. This is Jim Hills 252 talking to you about it. So please subscribe to my channel. It really means a lot, and also I welcome comments. So please give this video a like, and also comment on my videos if you like this type of content. Right, so on with the video, guys. So last time I left you was yesterday when the RMS TITANIC left Cherbourg in France. Because when she left Cherbourg in France, it only took 90 minutes for the passengers to get loaded onto the RMS TITANIC from Cherbourg in France. So 8 PM at night, she weighed anchor and set off for Queenstown. And on the night it was... The weather was cold and windy on the departure from Cherbourg in France. It was cold and windy. So by 8 o'clock, RMS TITANIC raised her anchor and she was heading out of Cherbourg, France towards Queenstown. As many of you probably realise now that Queenstown is named Cork City nowadays, but the RMS TITANIC's voyage, it was called Queenstown. So she departed for Cherbourg, France at 8 o'clock, heading towards Queenstown on the southern coast of Ireland. So on to the next day. So the Titanic was sailing towards Queenstown really slowly. She only had a max speed of 21 knots. So she was going slowly towards Queenstown. So she arrived at Queenstown at 11:30 AM on that morning, on the 11th of April 1912. She arrived at Queenstown to pick up her final remaining passengers. But yet again, in this day and age, the dock in Queenstown was just way too little for a ship of Titanic size. So yet again, tender ships had to be used to bring the passengers to the Titanic to let them board onto the ship. And these little boats transported passengers to the RMS Titanic, which was anchored just outside of Queenstown. And these little boats were named the tenders were named America and Ireland. So these were the two tender ships that brought passengers to the RMS Titanic. Was called the America and the Ireland. And the island. So they were busy ferrying passengers to the RMS Titanic. So in Queenstown, Titanic took 123 passengers were boarded in Queenstown for this RMS Titanic. 123 passengers boarded. And there was 3 in first class, 7 second class, and 113 in third class. So that was 123 passengers boarded the RMS Titanic in Queenstown. So these was the last lot of passengers for the RMS Titanic. So the ships transporting the passengers to and from the Titanic were really busy loading all the passengers up. And another 7 passengers had booked an overnight from Cherbourg to Queenstown. From Southampton to Queenstown, another 7 passengers booked an overnight. So, these 7 passengers left the RMS Titanic in Queenstown. And among the 7 passengers were officers Francis Brown. Francis Brown, he was one of the passengers that got off in Queenstown. So he didn't want to go all the way to New York on the RMS Titanic ship. He only wanted to go as far as Southampton to Queenstown. So he got off in Queenstown in Ireland. And this process, loading and unloading of the passengers at Queenstown took the off and unloading for passengers in Queenstown took 2 hours. So she was ready to depart from Queenstown at 1:30 that afternoon, because that's when all our passengers were on board. All 2,224 passengers. So she had all our passengers on board, and at 1:30 in the afternoon, she raised her anchor for the last time. And this is the last time the RMS Titanic saw land. So she weighed anchor at 1:30 in the afternoon on the 11th of April 1912 and began her Atlantic crossing from Southampton, England to New York. So she left at 1:30, started on an Atlantic crossing from Southampton to New York. Because the RMS Titanic was due to arrive in New York on the 17th of April 1912. That's when she was due to arrive in New York. So after the RMS Titanic left Queenstown, right, she followed the Irish coast as far as she followed the Irish coast as far as Fastnet Rock. She followed the Irish coast up until the Fastnet Rock. That's how she followed the Irish coast on a westward journey across the Atlantic. So from the 11th of April 1912 until noon the following day, on the 12th of April 1912, Titanic covered 484 nautical miles, 557 miles, 896 kilometres, and the following day she made 519 miles, She travelled for 519 miles. 597 ml. 961 kilometres. So that's how much the Titanic covered in the and when she left Queenstown on the day before, on the 1:30 departure, and the next day she covered a massive amount of miles. But she was still cruising along at a really steady 21 knots. So by the next afternoon, when they left Queenstown, they were steaming west past the coast of Ireland, with nothing out ahead in front of the ship apart from the ocean. The weather cleared at this point. She left Ireland under cloudy skies. With a headwind. That's when she left Ireland, and she left Ireland under cloudy skies and a headward wind. So the wind was heading towards the bow section over here. And also the temperatures didn't change much on the 13th. They didn't change much. Yeah, averaging about 21 knots, which is 25 miles per hour. So she was a slow vessel, but she was slowly making progress across the Atlantic Ocean on a maiden voyage. So the first 3 days after departing Queenstown, the first 3 days of the voyage of the RMS Titanic went without hitch when she left Queenstown. Nothing went wrong. Nothing went wrong on the first few days of Titanic's maiden voyage across the Atlantic Ocean. And she was under control of Captain Edward John Smith. So she was in safe hands because Edward John Smith was a senior captain of the White Star Line. So he knew how these ships worked. So she left Queenstown at 1:30. 1:30 weighed anchor for the last time. And this was the last time the RMS Titanic saw land. But there was one little minor fault that happened. But this happened on the 13th of April 1912, right? A fire had begun inside the Titanic's most forward bunker, which is about there and there. A little fire had broken out because the coal had reignited itself. So a small fire was happening between the coal bunkers at the front end of the ship. And this little section here had coal that fed boiler rooms 5 and 6. So there was a little small fire on that day. On that day, that served the coal between boiler rooms 5 and 6 had weakened Titanic structure a little bit. So, and this fire was burning constantly for 10 days prior to the departure from Southampton. But the crew wasn't. But the passengers weren't aware of it all. They just went around the normal business, like everything was alright, just enjoying the weather and enjoying the maiden voyage on board the RMS TITANIC. So not one of the passengers could smell the smoke and fire from the coal bunker that was alight that fed coal between boilers rooms 5 and 6 in the front end of the ship, which was about here. And this fire was constantly burning, and even though it even burned 10 days before departure from Southampton, but it was still burning. It was still burning into the maiden voyage. So no one suspected the little fire. Nobody could smell it. The crew couldn't either. The crew couldn't even pick it out either. So it was just sat there, just burning between boiler rooms 5 and 6 and the coal bunker that supplied them two boiler rooms. But the fire from the coal bunker was finally extinguished on the 14th of April 1912. So it took them absolutely years to get it under control. But still, the RMS Titanic, heading westward towards New York on a westbound crossing to New York from Southampton, to continue on that journey. So no apparent incident the first 3 days of the voyage, apart from that little fire, which happened in the coal bunker. The coal bunker was from the front end of the ship, which stored coal for boiler room 5 and 6. So that's it for this video, guys. This is part 3 of the RMS Titanic's maiden voyage. So stay tuned for tomorrow's video, when I'll go into a bit more detail about what happened during them few days of the RMS Titanic's westbound crossing to New York. So there's still going to be some more videos in this series, guys. There's going to be about 3 more videos on this series. So if you like this sort of content, please give this video a thumbs up. I welcome comments on my channel anytime. I welcome them all the time. I respond to them all. So that's it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for part number 4 of the ill-fated maiden voyage of the RMS Titanic. So see you all tomorrow. See you later, guys. Bye.